Today I'm making a really simple mushroom gravy. My version is dairy-free, so you can use it in vegetarian and vegan recipes, or you can serve it on meat. It's good on braised chicken or on Salisbury steak. It's also a good substitute for the canned cream of mushroom soup. I'm going to use this in my green bean casserole at Thanksgiving time. But today I'm just going to show you the gravy. To make this mushroom gravy, I have mushrooms. I like to use brown mushrooms. These are whole baby Bella mushrooms, or sometimes they're called cremini mushrooms. I think that they hold up better in the gravy. And I'm also going to use some olive oil, salt and pepper. I have about a 1/4 cup of flour. I went ahead and put it in this mason jar so I can make my slurry up really quickly and easily. And I have some dried thyme leaves. I'm going to clean the mushrooms by just brushing off the loose dirt with a clean, dry washcloth. Once my mushrooms are all cleaned, I'm just going to slice them into my cast iron Dutch oven. You could use any kind of saucepan. I'm slicing these mushrooms, but you could also dice them depending on how small you want the pieces in your finished gravy. I'm going to liberally salt the mushrooms, and I'm going to toss them so the salt gets on all of the mushrooms, and let them stand for about 5 minutes to start to pull the moisture out of the mushrooms. Mushrooms are little sponges, so if you try to fry them in butter or oil, they're going to soak up all the oil and stick to the pan. By adding the salt, you're going to pull the moisture out, and it creates sort of a barrier so the mushrooms don't absorb all of the oil and they can actually fry and brown. After about 15 minutes, you'll see some moisture being drawn from the mushrooms. And I'm going to turn the heat on to medium-high. I'm going to push the mushrooms back just a little bit so that I can pour a couple tablespoons of olive oil into the bottom of the pan. Once the oil starts to sizzle, I'm going to turn the heat down to medium. You want to cook the mushrooms, stirring occasionally until they're cooked through and soft. The mushrooms have cooked down and they released some liquid, and from here I'm just going to add my flour and water. I just added some water to that mason jar and shook up the flour water slurry. Now over a low heat I'm going to slowly add in the flour water slurry, stirring constantly. I'm going to add a little bit of water because it's a little bit too thick. You want to simmer it very gently to reduce the gravy, stirring constantly so it doesn't stick. The mushrooms give this gravy a really rich and savory flavor, and they don't need much, but I do like to add a little bit of thyme, and I'll taste for seasoning and add additional salt and pepper if needed. Now your gravy is finished and ready to serve on mashed potatoes or chicken fried steak or anything you like. Leave some comments down below on how you would use this gravy. I'd love to hear your ideas, and thank you so much for watching.